Alrighty, I wanted to defend the show Velma because I'm a big fan of the Mindy Project, and Mindy Kaling wrote a lot of my favorite episodes of The Office, but I cannot. And the main problem with this Velma show is that it's just so mean. It's very mean-spirited to everyone. Like, Velma blames everyone in the world for being so mean to her, but God, no one is decent to each other at all. It's just incredibly sad. Yeah, so the fifth and sixth episodes of Velma just came out, and yeah, they've been a struggle to watch. I can admit that. God, just the meta humor is too heavy on the meta. And pushing that aside, like, I wasn't even that mad about the meta thing because I feel like so many shows do that. So many adult shows depend on that. Family Guy, The Simpsons in recent years, Rick and Morty. Let's see, Paradise PD. Yes, I've watched that. Ugh. Like, so many adult shows do that, so I just thought, oh yeah, that's an adult show problem. Oh, BoJack Horseman, also very guilty of that. That's the worst part about that great show. So yeah, that part I just come to expect with adult animation, and that's why I wasn't so mad about it. But as the show progressed, the characters, yeah, the gang are not there for each other. If anything, they seem to just completely dismiss each other. It's worse than hate. Ugh, God, and this Velma is just so awfully mean. At first, I'm like, yes, you have reason to be bitter because the world is racist and mean to women who are not absolutely beautiful. That part's true. But there is no inner beauty. She is a bad friend to Daphne and Norville, and yeah, you would think at some point she would take a minute to look back and appreciate those who are there for her. But she hasn't, and that's just really, it's hard to root for a character like this. And the rest of the tone of the show is not better. Like, the citizens are mean to the kids. Velma, like, oh my God, like, that one episode where the police would only, like, watch over hot girls to make sure they don't get murdered. All of that was just so bad, so objectifying. Yes, the hot girls make a point to where Velma, they shouldn't dress down. It's the rest of the men's problem, but yeah, they weren't there for Velma. Velma wasn't there for them. The cops aren't there for them. No one is helping each other in this show, and it's just really, like, mean-spirited to watch. So yeah, I don't care about the mystery because the mystery is progressing so slowly. Like, episodes 3 and 4 barely had to happen. I will admit that I don't mind the Stephanie and Velma romance they have going on because the second episode really, like, portrayed them well. They're friends who know each other really well. They can snark off each other and, dish really well to each other. So the fact that they also catch feelings makes sense. And the fact that they talk about a little bit in episode 3, I thought was sweet and fine. That part is fine. But then the fact that Velma just absolutely ghosts Daphne when she's going through stuff is not cool. The part where they make danger-prone Daphne, instead of her just being clumsy, to more of a Daphne likes to set things on fire, that part amused me a bit. But it's not enough. No. Like, this Fred character is just annoying without any redeeming qualities. It's so hard. Yes, after reading The Feminist Mystique, he tries to see the inner beauty in Velma, but there is no inner beauty, and he still doesn't help anyone, like, at all. It's just, ugh. Now, yes, there are racist white guys who are douches like this, and yeah, they exist, they're annoying. But one of the fun things about TV is you watch them to escape that douchiness, okay? I mean, I want to think that the idea behind Fred is kind of like what Family Guy does, where they make characters so terrible they challenge you not to be this person, or do they give you permission to be this person because it happens on TV? Yes, people are this stupid. It's hard. It's very, very hard. The Shaggy in this version is probably the nicest he's ever been, but you just feel sorry for him. I wish this character was in a better show because he's so nice. Though I will think that after, not getting a good taste out of this show, I watched my favorite Scooby-Doo show, Mr. Incorporated, and God, they were not nice to Velma in that show either. Like, not at all. Like, the premise of that Velma is she's jealous of Scooby-Doo because he's closer to Shaggy, and Shaggy might want a girlfriend, but he cares more about his dog's feelings. And yes, Scooby-Doo is more than just a pet. He is a member of the family. He is the He's the heart of the gang. But wow, the fact that they made Velma so bitter in that show is also not cool. No, it's also not cool. Yeah, the part where Daphne is like always compared to her more successful sisters is sad. She tries to keep a good attitude about it, but God, that has to hurt the soul after a while. But at least the Fred in that one was more amusing. Shaggy, Shaggy, I always sort of pass by. He's just like that extra dude bringing the snacks. It's amusing in the cartoon world where he and the dog run from the bad guys and make it silly, but Shaggy himself is kind of a douche. Like, in most incarnations, he's just a douche who gets the benefit of being a dog lover. God bless dog lovers. But yeah, like, God, no, my favorite version of Mr. Incorporated, like, that's mean to Velma too, so it makes sense that Velma would be mean after years, but God, to make a character likable, you need to give her some grace, like some cornerstone of humanity to make you want to root for her. I don't really want to root for this Velma, and that's the sad part. No, I don't. I wanted to up to like episode 3, but now I don't care. I will admit that when like Norville and Daphne started to hang out, it's like, yes, these two characters who are so different, let's see them become friends. That didn't last. The part where Fred kind of wants to help Velma, that is a little bit better on him, but really not enough. Like, oh, why won't the show bring all 4 characters together so they can talk out their issues, okay? That is what people loved about Scooby-Doo, how even though these 4 characters are so vastly different, they became friends. And the fact that we're like 6 episodes in and they're still not friends is just really aggravating, because individually, no, they keep doing things that are gross and violent, and yeah, that appeals to a lot of, like, you know, adult animated series. Like, Big Mouth can get gross and violent, and like, I think that's one of the reasons I didn't like its spin-off show, Human Resources, where it was also so, like, hard up on being meta, gross, and violent that it didn't really have much heart. This Velma show doesn't have much heart. I don't think it deserves as much, like, absolute hate as it deserves, because so many adult shows, like, series, have this problem, where they're just really mean-spirited, they're too meta, and yeah, but Rick and Morty, even though it's pretty mean-spirited, it has some moments of peace where when the characters do get a little wind and they do help each other out. That is what makes Rick and Morty watchable, for those little tiny moments where the characters actually show that they like each other and want to help each other. Those little moments make it all worth it. Then the sci-fi action's cool, but you know. Paradise PD, I cannot believe that got 4 seasons instead of Inside Job. Like, Inside Job was a very well-written series, but again, that is a little too meta on its action. And yes, its main character is pretty, like, bitter and violent and such, but Reagan has her moments of where she's still an amazing scientist who does always save the team and does have her moments of self-reflection, and her friendship with Brett is sweet. Yeah. So, God, there are ways to make it. Like, BoJack Horseman, you have to get through so much, like, meta jokes with Hollywood and all that, so many that I just get lost because I get bored of it, but then it, like, wows you with deep and intellectual writing. But no, Velma, you're not doing that. Velma, you are no BoJack Horseman. And you're definitely not, like, broad in your sexual perviness to really appeal like the way Paradise PD or Big Mouth does. Big Mouth and Paradise PD, they make fun of all sexual organs. Velma's just making fun of female sexuality. And that's not cool. So, I'm disappointed. I wanted to be the fan of this show. I wanted to, you know, give a little bright light and be there when people realize later in the show, oh, this wasn't so bad, we just overreacted. I still think people overreacted, but the show's still not very good. And that's too bad. Oh well. There'll be another Scooby-Doo thing. Scooby-Doo will never die. That's the funny thing about Scooby-Doo. And yeah, we will just wait. I will wait for Velma to be over, and then I will wait for whatever happens next for Scooby-Doo. I still think, you know, you should be more into blind casting when you make animated series. Yes, Asian Velma, that's nice. I still think Constance Wu is doing a great voice acting job. But we just wait. We wait for the next incarnation of Scooby-Doo, whatever that might be. Do I think it'll be another Mystery Incorporated? Doubtful. Ugh, at least it's not that Family Guy like Scooby Doo. I think that one just didn't get much hate because it was so boring and forgettable. But no, this one, yeah, the fact that its hate watched so high into getting a season 2, that's amazing camp. Maybe in a faraway distance we can laugh about this at how bad it is, but right now I'm just disappointed. And yeah, that's my review of Velma, the series with all the hate.